The Republic of Korea says it fired warning shots at a drone near their border with the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. This comes days after Pyongyang claimed it had successfully tested a hydrogen bomb in defiance of international restrictions. CCTV's Roy Ruttenberg reports.
The DPRK's leader, Kim Jong-un, presented awards to a number of people on Wednesday that state media said worked on last week's test of a thermonuclear bomb. In a speech thanking those who helped, the largely isolated leader called the underground test a success and said it proves his country's, quote, invincibility and mightiness. This amid new warnings from the U.S., Japan, and South Korea. At a meeting in Seoul, the trio said they are working on new expanded sanctions that would inflict, quote, bone-numbing pain on Pyongyang.
And we are determined to take a strong response to this latest provocation. The three countries, U.S., Japan, and South Korea, agree that there needs to be a meaningful new sanctions resolution out of the UN Security Council, and we'll be cooperating very closely towards that end.
Japan noted it's considering its own sanctions, just one day after the U.S. Congress voted unanimously to strengthen American legislation against the DPRK. Meanwhile, South Korean President Park Geun-hye called on Beijing to exert more pressure on its neighbor.
중국은 그동안 누차에 걸쳐
I believe China is aware that if its strong determination is not put into actual necessary action, we will not be able to prevent a fifth or sixth nuclear test.
Beijing, for its part, says its efforts to promote a denuclearized Korean peninsula would continue.
At present, the situation on the Korean peninsula is very sensitive. We hope relevant countries can act in accordance with maintaining regional peace and stability, cautiously and appropriately deal with the relevant issue.
The largely tense border between the two became even more tense on Wednesday. South Korean officials say a drone from the north crossed onto their side. In response, they fired at least 20 warning shots, none of which hit the drone. Many are now asking if the flyover was antagonistic, part of an expanded DPRK offensive strategy. The South Korean nuclear envoy is due in Beijing for talks with top Chinese officials. Beijing has said it supports dialogue as a means to resolving the nuclear standoff. The U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, though, has urged China to end what he called its business-as-usual approach when it comes to Pyongyang. Roe Ruttenberg, CCTV in Washington.